Las Cruces artist Saba uses his surroundings to help inspire his artwork.
So from being from the Southwest, being from here, I love to incorporate the landscape. Just a lot of artifacts and different things that represent the Southwest is what I call Southwest wild style. And it really just comes from growing up here.
Saba often draws on past experiences. Being an indigenous person, he practices traditions that are part of his heritage.
Back to the Southwest wild style, we want to establish that we've been practicing these ways and this culture prior to New York and the East Coast existence on this land. Meaning that we've danced, made beats, told stories, and wrote on walls, which is the four elements of hip hop. The Waco Tank's just an old school graffiti art, in my opinion.
Graffiti art and hip hop culture often go hand in hand. Hip hop culture values freedom, expression, social justice, and enjoying life. Graffiti is one way of expressing and celebrating these values. For Saba, this culture helped him become who he is today.
As long as I practice doing this art form, I don't have to practice being a drunk Indian or any of those stereotypes that my community that I come from has. Just like sketching in a sketchbook, but at a bigger scale. It's really just making a mess and cleaning it up. There's nothing to it, really. If it doesn't look good, you can totally erase it and go over it, But a lot of the times, that's where the originality and the style come from, is the mistakes.
Graffiti art has not always been fully accepted. Often, it was associated with vandalism and street gangs. In more recent years, graffiti art is being viewed with a more open mind, leading to a rise in popularity.
It's awesome that, the mainstream has finally caught on to the healing and how hard the art form is. Like you said, how does one get into it? You practice, right? How does one spin on their head and break dance? They practice. How does one drive? You got to get in the car and drive.
Saba practiced this style by watching his brother and his friends create graffiti around their city of Farmington in northern New Mexico. He credits them for introducing him to his passion.
They were the local hooligans that, tagged their territory, and it was always an awesome thing to know that, that I knew who did that. They crushed our little town, and it was cool just knowing that, you were able to even do something like that and low-key get away with it. You had to really figure out, the harm some of that culture does, but they weren't taught by themselves to act that way.
Overall, Saba says hip-hop culture and graffiti are positive influences on the world. He says they provide a means of expression that many low-income and underprivileged groups do not get.
Shout out to all my aunts and uncles and parents and people that have encouraged me and told me that I could do anything, right? And paid the rent and did what they had to keep me alive, right? Because I think that's what we're protecting, is our soul, our traditions, our culture, our timeline, our knowledge of these ways of life that we practice every day, right? Whether it's painting graffiti or praying in the kiva, it's the same thing going on.
Graffiti and street art are more than just paint on a wall to the artist. It means they have a chance for expression, to illustrate their thoughts and emotions. This often controversial art form is a vital outlet for artists like Saba, who are invited to share their vision with the world. For KRWG Public Media, I'm Noah Race.